This is part one of a two-part video series detailing the training of a young stallion to mount the Phantom to allow collection of semen for artificial insemination. Dr. Kelly Aaron Clayball is the veterinarian collecting the stallion. The stallion is owned and trained by Lester Buckley of Buckley Sport Horses. The stallion is Contrell, a 2009 Westphalian stallion. Training a stallion to mount a Phantom is beneficial for multiple reasons. Firstly, it provides safety for both the stallion and the mare. If the stallion were to jump a mare that was not receptive, he could potentially be kicked in either his legs or in his penis, which would end his breeding career. The mare could also be injured by an overly aggressive stallion. Collection also allows the ability to examine the semen prior to insemination. Once semen is collected, it can either be used immediately if the mare is on the premises, or it can be shipped to a mare at another location. It also can be frozen and used for a later date. Collection of semen and artificial insemination of mares can also reduce the transmission of venereal diseases. This is a schematic of the breeding shed at Aina Animal Hospital in Kamuela, Hawaii. Safety for the staff and the horses is the #1 priority when designing a breeding shed. The shed is enclosed to offer privacy and reduce distractions for the stallion. The stallion is separated from the mare by a solid tease wall. The mare handler and the veterinarian handling the artificial vagina are positioned behind the tease wall away from the stallion. The veterinarian has access to the stallion through a small gap between the tease wall and the shed perimeter. All personnel should wear protective gear, helmets, and chest protectors. In this video, only the veterinarian is wearing appropriate safety gear. The stallion enters the shed from behind the Phantom and approaches the tease wall. He is able to nuzzle the mare over the tease wall. Once he is erect, he is circled and presented to the Phantom. Once mounted, the veterinarian is able to insert his penis into the artificial vagina from the left side of the Phantom. In this next clip, Lester Buckley of Buckley Sport Horses discusses what he likes about the breeding shed design at Aina Animal Hospital.
What I like about this is it's indoors and it's very private, and it's got borders, but with a little bit of daylight. I especially like the leather covered Phantom. I like the angle of this. I like the escape door here. You know, if you were going to modify anything, you might raise this up, you know, just for your tall stallions that are coming in. If they got kind of bouncy, they could hit themselves. And this little gate right here is nice, because then he could reach over and talk to her, and you know, go from here to the Phantom. I especially like the leather cover on that. I like the thickness of this pipe. It's about the right height for me. There's no openings here that he can get a foot through, because that's key. It's solid. It's solid all the way up to here. And you can see the way it was made, there was an opening there, and that would be pretty high risk. Whereas this is not, and it's got dull corners, which are safe. And there's not a lot of, you know, I like the bamboo or trees in particular over there by the bars. You could probably have the same thing right here, so he couldn't see the bay mare, because if you remember during the collection, he looked at her and he lost focus. You know, so if you had, you know, in this case here in Hawaii, bamboo trees extending all the way around, the only thing for him to think about is the mare and what's in the shed. I like the fact that he has a different entry point that the mare does. You know, because he comes in over there and the mare comes in over here.
You were saying something about the footing?
Footing's nice. You know, it's a mixture of wood chips and cinder, and it's natural. It's very natural. It's very safe, very secure. He can move around. You know, if he were to fall off, it's not going to hurt him. But it's not so antiseptic with just, you know, plain rubber mats that it's slick.
In this clip, the stallion meets the tease mare. He is allowed to interact with the mare and is encouraged to smell, nose, gently bite until he is aroused. In this clip, we are preparing the stallion for collection by cleaning the penis. Many young stallions are not accustomed to being handled in their private areas. This stallion is demonstrating a typical reaction in response to being touched on his penis. Once cleaned, the stallion is led back to the tease mare to regain his erection. Once he attempts to mount the tease mare, he is redirected to the phantom until he begins to associate the phantom with the tease mare.
I doubt this first ejaculate's going to be the best quality. Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah, we let him come up that side a bit, and as he'd go to try and jump over the gate, we were able to pull his legs, and then he'd swing his butt. Since you said he already likes to swing his butt left, you might creep it back around over the. It might be a little bit tricky to pull him sort of this way.
In this next clip, Lester talks about how he thought his horse's training session went.
That went well. Because Elmo Pinchado, the other vet clinics have never been able to get him on a phantom.
Yeah.
Here, by having the mare a little bit separated, he was able to do it on a phantom for the first time. So that went well.
I think the handling makes a difference.
Handling makes a difference. I got the chain under his chin instead of over his nose, and I wasn't, ever very jerking on him. As you can see, he can lose his libido pretty easy. But I also think having a leather-covered phantom as opposed to vinyl, which most all of them are, helps. Leather's a little bit more natural.
Yeah.
And having a patient crew.
And have what?
A patient crew.
Yes. I thought it went well.
So for his first time, that's better than my expectations.
Stay tuned to Equilibrium Institute's YouTube channel for more educational videos detailing Contral's progress as a breeding stallion.